Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I pray and I hope you are all well, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep you blessed wherever you are, inshallah. I'd like to quickly speak to you about coronavirus. To begin with, it is now very much accepted throughout the world that this is a pandemic, and a lot of the countries are busy in putting down emergency measures to deal with this outbreak. There are two statistics that I'd like to present to you in order to make this issue very clear in our minds when it comes to measures such as social distancing, staying at home, and that sort of thing. The first statistic about coronavirus: it is being predicted that this virus is likely to affect about 70% of the world population, which is a massive number. From that, it is said that 65% of the people are those that are going to suffer, that are healthy, are going to suffer from low to mild symptoms when infected by coronavirus. And 5% of that 70% world population that is going to be infected by coronavirus, 5% of that are going to be the ones that are going to have some sort of critical or underlying medical ailment, and they may be of an advanced age. They are likely to die from this virus. The rest should only suffer from low to mild symptoms. The other statistic that I'd like to present to you that I think will go a long way to make this issue very clear in our minds, and we'll be perhaps a bit more comfortable with at least the understanding of social distancing and the importance of it. Professor Hugh Montgomery from the United Kingdom, he said that normal strain of flu is also contagious. So if person A is infected by flu in normal circumstances, he is likely to go away and infect 1.4 people, who are the people that he comes into touch with. And then if you take that through 10 layers of people, you end up with 14 people infected by the first person A that was infected by the flu in the first place. Comparatively to coronavirus infection, one person infected is likely to infect 3 further people. And if you take that through 10 layers, you can end up with infected people amounting to 59,000. Now that's a massive number, and that is really where the problem is. The spread of this infection is incredibly severe and very explosive. So that is why all governments, all medical specialists are stressing on the fact that we must stay indoors as much as we can. There has to be social distancing in the respect that you don't go out unnecessarily, you don't mingle with others unnecessarily, unless it's a necessity. Even then, make sure you're wearing a mask or you're wearing gloves, and you wash your hands regularly. These are all the measures, and they're quite easily available online and offline if you're looking to educate yourself. This is the issue. The issue is that this infection, coronavirus, this virus, it can exponentially spread through the masses. And if one person can end up infecting 59,000 people, then you can imagine how many people can be infected if there are 1,500 people that are infected. So with the infection, although a small number of people are likely to die, most of the people are likely to survive this infection even if they're infected. The fact of the matter is, no country in the world has a medical infrastructure in place that can cope with a massive influx of patients at this rate in this amount. So that is why the governments, the medical specialists are stressing: stay indoors, stay home, and stay clean. We must and should take all the precautionary safeguards that will help contain this virus. I think it's a social responsibility. I think it's a moral responsibility, and we should all take it very seriously. Of course, this is a global issue, and the world is at this moment in time struggling. So let's all pray that inshallah we're able to get through this in one piece with the grace of God. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blesses us with ease. I was reading the other day something that Imam Qurtubi said, and I'd like to relay that to you because I think it's very useful. He said that being afraid or having fear of something is natural to human beings, but to be afraid from something to the extent where it paralyzes you, that's a reflection of weak faith. We must remember that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi rajiun. To God we belong, and to God we will return, inshallah. So have faith in that, and that should give us courage to get through this inshallah problem. Also, I think we must all seek to establish our relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Imam Ali Karamullah Wajhul Kareem famously once said, he said, when I want to speak to my Lord, I pray salah, and when I want my Lord to speak to me, I recite the Quran. I think there's a great lesson in that. We should work on our salah and we should recite our Quran so that we can establish and strengthen our relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Another thing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said in the Quran, He said, فَإِنَّ مَعَ الْعُسْرِ يُسْرًا. He said, with hardship comes ease. So this is of course a hardship. This infection, this pandemic has affected people that in many ways is unimaginable. So it is a hardship, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has promised that with this hardship will come ease. So we should find courage in that, we should find solace in that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has promised, and it will pass inshallah. Finally, let's take this opportunity to be grateful for the things that we have. Alhamdulillah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us things that are beyond our imaginations in many ways. We should be grateful for them. We should count our blessings. We should always remember that whatever trouble that we may be in, look out your window, your door, your house, look outside, and you may find somebody who is less fortunate than you. Hazrat Hassan Basri rahmatullah alayhi famously said once that he was walking on the road and he had no shoes, and he complained to his Lord. He said, Ya Allah, you are the creator of all creation. There is no limit to your treasures. If you bless me with the pair of shoes, there is nothing that will be taken away from your treasure. But as he was saying that to his Lord in his heart, he suddenly saw somebody dragging himself across the road, and when he looked closely, that person he didn't have any legs. So Hazrat Hassan Basri, he said that I instantly repented and I thanked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, saying that, Ya Allah, alhamdulillah, at least I have legs. So what if I don't have shoes? So alhamdulillah, wherever you are, if you're in the west or in the east, be grateful for the things that we have. Yes, this is a difficult time, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has promised ease with it. Find your faith, find your heart, look where your heart is, and try to establish a relationship in your heart that is strong and steady with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah keep you safe, may Allah keep you healthy, may Allah keep you blessed. Inshallah, pray for me and I will pray for you. Assalamu alaikum.